That wasn't even me.
And welcome to another grand episode
Bro,
of Dots and Lines. This is where we talk all things nerddom. So we're here to talk about everything anime, manga, comics, and like I said, everything in between. So please, fellas, introduce yourselves.
It's your boy, me, Connell, your friendly neighborhood Renaissance man. I do all the things with all the stuff. And my nose ring is crooked.
hey, that's my gimmick. Mr. Sniffles. Digger Des. I'm a little bit late here, but hello, friend. His name is Desmond.
And I'm Grayson Red, here to talk about a whole bunch of endings this week. We are getting out of the winter anime season, y'all.
What a season.
It's been a great season.
Go
Been a great season. We're going to start off with something that I wasn't able to experience in live time with y'all. Frieren.
Mm, I love this show. I love this show so much. I absolutely love fantasy in general, but fantasy anime, which hasn't gotten like a lot of love over the last couple years, Freeman has literally put the team on its back. It's like, yo, I'm gonna carry this whole genre into the future.
Agreed, 100%.
Usually the only fantasy anime we get are like isekais, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But for this not to be isekai and still do all the same magic and world building of like a Tolkien novel, and yeah, I said that, argue with your mama, don't argue with me, is phenomenal. But with this episode, we got a lot of, again, we got the end of the arc, but also the immediate setup of the next arc.
Facts.
Yeah. And I know something happens that's real cool that I don't want to get into now because it's spoiler territory and we're not going to do that. But
Nice.
no,
El Dorado.
shit about to get crazy. It's wicked. It's wicked, boy. Boy, it's wicked.
The Golden
Yeah.
City.
I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, they end the episode showing, dude from the exam, Duncan, something like that.
Thinking.
Yeah. And he's about to go on his little arc and, show a little bit more of what happened with his wife, I believe. A little
Yeah.
bit backstory. But yeah, it's
He's going there, not the lady read his mind and was like, oh, he's not trying to come back.
yeah.
He said, I'm going on a mission. And it's crazy to think, like, just the overall concept of the world building of Frieren, the fact that he did the mage exam solely with the intention of getting the badge so he could go into this territory to do whatever he's about to do.
Yeah, either fail or succeed.
Let us succeed. Either way, there is no plan B. He's planned and he's going forward with it.
Yeah, I did appreciate the setup, but even more so, this is where Freeman shines. Like just the slice of life stuff, just Freeman, Stern, and Stark. Like that is really the party that's got us going all the way through. Like I like that season 2 only is 12 episodes or whatever, as opposed to the 28 or whatever it was for the 5th season. Because a lot of people had an issue with the pacing with the first season, but this is just you get it all,
Yeah.
just back to back to back. A hint of slice of life, a little bit of action, hint of slice of life. It does a good little ebb and flow. You get the little nice thing of Freeman saying, "Oh, that's what Freeman would have done," like for why she believes in Stark so much. But Freeman only says that because she says that's what Himmel would do. So just all the intertwining of like their party and where they came from. It's just goated.
Yeah. And also the fact of like we still get the world building elements, but we also get these really great action set pieces. Like when they was fighting that wolf,
Yeah.
that was like season finale level like action. But we got it in like not a throwaway episode, but like yeah.
Setup. Yeah, like we're gonna do a 3rd season. Like we already knew that, Freeman. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like nah, just we'll let you know. And sometimes you get anime that will set up the next season, but then sometimes they don't. They just kind of leave it hanging a little bit. But this one was like a direct, like, nah, we're getting into it immediately next season.
Nice.
I'm hyped.
And also the thing I like about Denkin too is like the only time I've really seen this is in Jujutsu Kaisen was when the magic users run out of magic they're like, all right, we're throwing hands now. There is no like, all right, I'm not take a potion. I'm a dude. Nah, they're like, nah, put your hands up. And Dankin in this show, when during the Mages exams, when they ran out of magic, he's like, yo, we got one recourse left. I got these hands. I'm gonna catch that bird and I'm gonna get this thing so I can go do this other thing.
My favorite analogy to that is when in Pokemon, you got a PP, you gonna struggle. It's gonna hurt both. It's gonna hurt both of y'all. But hey, that's what them hands is struggle.
He was like, yo, we winning through hella high water. And that's, again, one thing I love about Frieren. It's like, outside of the magic, it's like, yo, put your hands up.
I like that.
Yeah.
I one day I'm gonna catch up with this damn show.
Well, you got time till next
Yeah.
season, so
For real.
no excuses.
Yeah, besides the Slice of Life episodes, which aren't for me.
You gotta
But
just power
Not
through
yet.
it.
Not
yet.
yet. If you enjoy Sin's slices of life like moments, I don't see why you wouldn't enjoy the free run ones.
no, because those are moments. There's whole episodes dedicated to Slice of Life in the show, which is fine. It's just
Sometimes life got a slice.
But that's just because I would say Freeman's characters are more endearing than Sin to be a hero. It's just more hype.
Hey, listen, plain cake is still cake.
Pound cake is one of my favorite cakes. And that's
Pound
the plainest,
cake is still
the plainest
cake, dog. What you mean? Pound cake
Literally
is
cake.
still
No, I
cake.
think it's just rich cake.
Just cake. Sometimes that's all you need. Like
well,
kaiju, sometimes you just need a burger.
you guys make it sound good. I like most of what I'm seeing, so can't wait to get to it next season.
Yeah.
Bird. So speaking of fantasy, we got the Shadows of the. I think that's starting this week too, actually, along with One Piece.
What?
No.
Demons of the Shadow Realm.
Demons of the Shadow Realm next month. I keep
The hell
forgetting.
is that?
That's the Full Metal Arthur's new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. There's also the Isekai with the world leaders that we can't talk about, but yeah.
The Mustached Man, yes.
The Mustache Man, yes. The Mustache Man. Guten Tag. So since we're talking about endings and we're on the subject of endings
and goated ones
and goated endings, you want to tell us about Fire Force Des?
You gotta hit us off with it, bro. Come on.
I'm welling up beside, man. I texted these boys last week, just even before that blog, saying this is the most satisfying ending I've ever seen in probably of just fiction. Mr. Robot is one of my favorite endings too. But yeah, I said satisfying just because you could take it how you want to take it, as far as if it was great or not. But once they said, spoiler alerts, soul resonance, I was like, oh yeah, for sure. Like this is it. Like that moment just hit so hard, and they revealed that showing Shinra's mom is the evangelist's doppelganger, all the yin and the yang with it. You got the light being the dark, but the dark being the light. Shinra is the one who's smiling. Hamea is like frowning throughout the whole entirety of it. They compared Shinra to someone strong, and Hamea is like weak, but that you don't get that in like the big bad. But it all like actually fit with what was going on in the story. Like even Shinra not moving at all, getting touched at the end of the fight was like the beginning with Hamea saying, "Oh, it's a slight breeze. Like I don't have to move. Like I've been here the entire time." It was just so perfect. Like they didn't Kaguya, no Black Zetsu came out of nothing. They didn't try to revert like this character was the villain from the start of the series. They're the villain for the end of the series. Except the whole world and the concept was really the villain the whole time. And yeah, man, we're covering both episodes here. The actual end today, as of the recording of this video, and last week's episode. I think it's called Answer. But yeah, when Arthur just snapped Shinra out of it, like, oh, bro, like I literally just slayed a dragon. I'm literally up in space right now. Why did I have to remind you to not give up? You let me down right now. So when Sherman was talking to his mom, like, yeah, man, I got comrades. Like, I can't stop because he wouldn't stop.
Yeah, I like the philosophy of Fire Force. I like the concepts that they deal with, and I think in terms of an ending, I would agree. This is probably the most satisfying ending series end that I've seen in a while
Right.
because I like it as a prequel, but because Soul Eater is one of my favorite animes of all time. I love the concept of people are
Real
born
quick,
Meisters, huh?
spoilers for anyone who didn't know. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Spoilers
Fire
if you.
Force is a prequel to Soul Eater. People were
I
just finding this out this week, which blew my mind.
oh, well, spoilers, but I like the concept of the soul resonance being introduced here, and it makes sense. It's not like shoehorned in where it's like, all right, we got to make this
This
make
is mom
sense.
and his
Like,
brother. Yeah.
yeah, like JJK Modello. No, it's not called Modello, but like might as well be. So,
Modulo, you psycho.
yeah, sure. But I like the fact of like the concept wasn't shoehorned in; it makes sense, and then everything else that happens outside of that also makes sense. So I like that too. And then even when you bring it back to like the concept of like the death of it all, and then him being a literal god, but then creating a baby god to manage this world that he's not. It's just is art, and I like it as a standalone, but I also like it as a prequel. But I like it more as a prequel than a standalone.
I can agree with that. Yeah, because
Yeah,
most of the hype is you knowing that it set that up. But if you didn't have no idea, you would still be like, far as like what they set out to do. Oh, there is no more human combustion like that. Like it really is, a completion of the story, and
yes.
you could just take that as a standalone. It's really amazing. Like
Yeah,
they did their big one with this.
yeah. You were saying something, Justin?
No, I was just saying that it's like I don't want to say the same things you guys did too much. Super satisfying, and if you had never watched Soul Eater, you would be excited for what's to come next. You'd be like, "Yo, what happens now? This is a crazy world we're living in. We're out of the age of fire and into the age of death. People are just super powerful now. The powers are even wackier. Like the concepts that they introduce
Yeah.
are just so intriguing. Like it was such a great way to leave one world and enter another. Really cool.
Yeah. I just hope we get a Soul Eater Brotherhood treatment because the manga
Yeah,
is so much leaps and bounds better than the anime is.
I don't think anyone would argue that.
Yeah, I put that on everything I love. It's so much better.
They have to
But
announce one.
they'd be stupid not to. It's like it's printing money right now. Like, what are you doing? If you can make Boruto, make this.
Right. This is something
Yeah,
we
for
actually are
sure.
asking for.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That is totally fair.
Oh
yeah.
man, so great.
But other than that, speaking of disappointing sequels, shout out to Baruto. The Fate series for me, this was the last episode, right, Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the last episode of this season.
It did not stick the landing for me. It got very American,
And they had an Arthur.
and
How
they
you
had
feel
an
with an
Arthur, and it just got like the show just got real American. You know, like it didn't feel like a Fate series. But what did you think?
I thought they tried to do too much too quick.
Mm.
America.
They tried to shove yeah, they tried to shove way too much in at the end. This definitely could have used another episode. Um there was too many concepts for me to even want to go over. They halfway
Yeah.
gave seriously, they halfway gave Arthur and I forget his master, not master, like a true connection. And that's cool, but it's kind of overshadowed by the fact that like apparently she has these crazy abilities that we still just don't want to answer. Like, okay, cool. Like edge us even longer, or whatever. The season's over. Um, on top of that, like, I don't know. It was just too much too quick.
Spoilers.
That girl,
Nah,
yeah,
the
it's
episode
not
been
even
out for
worth
a while
spoilers.
now.
Yeah, it's been out for a little
RP the
bit.
flat, bro. That was a spoiler.
Yeah, RIP, RIP.
You
I
said
mean,
what
he
was the
needed to
spoiler?
die though. He was too overpowered.
Flat. I said RP the flat.
Oh
He got.
yeah,
He said, "Boop." That shit was crazy.
but
Yeah.
also like, um,
So Shorty
we
is
just
Jack the Ripper, right? That's what he was about to tell her.
yeah. His heroic spirit is Jack the Ripper.
No, the girl or him. No,
His
because
heroic spirit. Is Jack the
Yeah.
Ripper.
His heroic spirit is Jack the Ripper, and then because I watched the hour-long thing, and the first, I guess, thing before the first episode, and he's like, I would just want to know who I am, and like, and Flat is like, well, how would you know if that's you or not? And he's like, well, but at the end of it, I'm sure I'll get some type of inkling. And I felt like he was about to tell the girl, like, hey, I think you're supposed to be like, who Jack the Ripper was. I could have read that wrong, but
You
I felt
listen.
like that's why they
I
shot
can't
him.
blame you because I feel like it's something different, but they leave it too ambiguous for us to know. This has been
Yeah.
the most ambiguous, like because for those who don't know, these Fate series they're supposed to branch off into different possibilities in different universes. So there is some stuff that's supposed to be kind of open ended.
Mhm.
Um, this was too much. This
Are
was
they
too
though?
much.
Because the Fate series are normally straightforward of like, this is a tournament and we're fighting everybody. Like the first like maybe 3 or 4 episodes is everybody getting their team members and establishing the lines and what family is sided with what family, who got what heroic spirit. And then the middle chunk is just hands, feet,
Yeah,
knees,
but
and elbows.
yeah, for sure. But even to get to the series though, like it is usually a subversion of another series.
Yes,
Like
that
they
that
even
part.
did that weird, that not weird flashback, but they showed like the original Grail War or the original Grail War that we watched, where it
Yeah, the
was,
fourth. Yeah,
yeah, the Arthur and Hercules and Gilgamesh, and those decisions in this universe led to what we have now. Whereas you skew it slightly, you get Fate Strange, Heaven's
Fate.
Field, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um,
Great
and it's
movie.
cool, great movie, and it's cool. Like I don't want to harp on it too much because I've been such a huge advocate for the show, but you left too much unanswered, and you stuffed too much in one episode, and it left me feeling kind of empty. Like I ate a whole bunch of chips, and I'm still kind of hungry.
Isn't it
yeah.
so cool to have something like, to compare like a good ending to and actually be satisfied and not just edge the whole time and then say,
That's
hey, we
hilarious.
got you all the way to the end.
Well,
It doesn't
the
matter.
Fate series are normally for me whenever they come out. At least 2 or 3 or 4 of the fights are contender for best anime fight of the year. Like they're really good. Also, them two, Shao Tucker and their daughter, is
Yeah,
crazy.
evil work, evil work. I thought
That is,
that this was compelling. Like, oh, they were
yeah,
experimenting on this girl and having her basically be a subject for their own power to get heroic
yeah.
spirits. Blah blah
Which
blah blah.
was a compelling storyline, but they didn't do anything with it.
They didn't
It was
flush it
like
out enough.
it was 2 episodes and then that was it. And then like her heroic spirit was death,
Kind of, maybe.
maybe kind of. And then there was all like the spirits at the end that maybe, but then she summoned Cerberus somehow.
And let me tell you something else.
Yeah,
I really didn't like how they let Leonhardt have a legitimate sword and he blasts off just for it to amount to nothing because that whole fake world that they're in gets destroyed anyway. So he didn't even need to fight. That was
Yeah,
an
that
odd
was pretty
choice.
anticlimactic.
and he
Yeah.
also finds like he should have found or at least had Excalibur
Yeah,
because
he
in the
met Arthur.
past Saber is supposed to have a literal sword. I get the concept of him being able to use it because in the original series you don't see Saber's sword. Saber's sword is hidden by magic.
Yeah.
Because you only pull out Excalibur when you need to pull out Excalibur type shit. But for this one, they just kind of like they just never gave him an actual weapon. And like the concept is cool; he can just pick anything up and fire it. But it kind of loses its luster when we get on like episode night 13 of that. Like,
Yeah, bro. I'm 100% with you. I'm 100% with you. And it's a shame. I thought they clearly want a season two. They're gonna get a season two. It's tight moon. But
yeah, but
you could have left me feeling way more excited for it if you just
Yeah.
executed this better.
there's no Fate series, or at least that I can recall, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, like the comments or whatever, where I had to watch an OVA before I watched the series to
Same.
set up a season 2. Because even
Yeah.
with like the other ones, they were different Grail Wars. They were continuations, but they were different Grail Wars where we saw the consequences of the end. Like we got to start, we got a middle, we got an end, and then we got the continuation of that story, and then we got to start, middle, end of that. But for this to
Wow.
just kind of like left me wanting and a little confused too, because I get the whole thing of
Yeah.
like the vampires, but like why are the vampires there? the other heroic spirits, we saw Katie's, which was really compelling, and then they just didn't bring him into the final fight for whatever reason. Gilgamesh is still dying. There's a mech somewhere, like, and then the dude got hit with a sniper.
Definitely did.
Why? We fighting with magic. Why are we? What? And I get it's America.
They're in America. They're in America. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know they're getting a season 2, and this episode wasn't. I'm guessing this theme of this episode was it's not about conclusions as much as it is like raising the stakes. But like when you raise the stakes so artificially and so anticlimactically, it kind of defeats the purpose for me. So
I'm gonna roll my eyes, but I can't roll them any harder. There were no stakes. There weren't. I couldn't tell you what the issue is right now.
Yeah, me too. And it's weird for me because I feel like I follow Fate series fairly well usually.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a skill issue, guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb.
If you want to look up a great fight from the Fate series, look up Hercules versus Gilgamesh. In the second one, it's a great fight. Look up Siegfried versus Saber, also phenomenal fight. Look up Saber versus Hercules, also phenomenal fight. And then there was a fight with the Bride of Frankenstein, who was a berserker and had a hammer. Watch that. Those are all really great, compelling fights. And then look up Archer versus what was the kid's name?
I want to say Hero, the one who's the one at the end. You know, I forget.
Yeah, even like I'll give a quick aside. Right, he was a heroic spirit because he won the Grail in a different timeline, and that made him a heroic spirit. And then he summoned himself to himself in a different timeline, so that way he could fight alongside himself. Convoluted.
Great twist at the end.
Great.
It was really good. Yeah,
a great twist.
Yeah, watch Fate 0. Go ahead. What's up, bro?
No, I was gonna say real quick before we segue. I do want to again because this like the sandwich here that we've had with Frieren, good setup for a season. Fate, not so good setup for what may be a next season because what was the point? Fire Force, great ending for a series. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not a lot of series to get a good fleshed out ending. You know, like people have their complaints with the Naruto. People have their complaints with the JJK thing. We're not going to spoil anything with that. But when it finally does happen, like, you know, the fact that it was coming out with JJK, it's like a seesaw. Like maybe towards the end of that, y'all might not feel as though it ended like as good as Fire Force does. So watch y'all shit, enjoy it for what it is, because the comparison it really do be the depth of what you're experiencing. You know, it's got to be the whole thing. Like fuck the fights. Like is all of it good? Yes, no, cool. So,
sometimes listen.
So I'm hyped about Black Clover because you know that could end just as good as MHA and Fire Force in my eyes.
If they don't fix the pacing of the last fight of JJK, it's gonna not good. If they don't fix it, they got time. They got time. They fixed the ending of Attack on Titan. Listen, they got time.
And they had but they made time with that one. They said we're gonna
they made time.
2 more years.
They fixed it twice. There's 2 separate endings. But yeah, that's true. You can still love something. You can love it all the way up until the end, and it's still like Naruto, one of my favorites. Didn't stick the landing for me because of
it happens.
Kaguya, but like it still was good up until then. Was it a little long? Yeah, but still great.
Still my favorite story of all time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Bleach. But
speaking of cycles, and what cycle are we in right now? Satan is real. Spoilers everywhere. And we're talking about Invincible.
Episode 4 and 5, because we didn't get to cover episode 4 last week.
Correct.
Yeah.
A lot of people hated this episode. I thought it was a fun little romp. It was cool.
Wasn't that bad.
Animation quality is okay.
That? No, animation quality was they took a step down. They clearly wanted to save their animators for different episodes. I get it.
They just need to talk the Mappa, man.
That was animated.
You just said they just need to engage in slave labor.
Hey, keep the people from seeing their families. I bet you we get good animation.
It's an evil world we live in. But yeah,
I'm joking.
Mark goes to hell. He deals with Dark Blood, if I remember his name correctly,
Yeah,
and they have to basically help Satan, or otherwise demons are gonna flood Earth. That's the long and short of it. It's cool. Nothing of
It's,
consequence yet, besides the fact they hint to like Satan coming back up himself to the surface world, which is bad.
yeah, most of Invincible is a side quest from the main story,
that's
which is
funny.
about Mark and his fucking daddy being basically like Vegeta. Like
Yeah.
most of the story is a side quest. Like I don't care about this. It's cool.
Stakes, it's
What
consequences.
stakes? What
Yeah.
stakes? What consequences? When you know
Well,
everything that is going to happen, it's
Well,
like
yeah,
this
well, if you know
doesn't
everything's gonna
matter.
happen,
yeah. They
no,
try to
we
hit
gotta.
you with all fronts of
Yeah, but
stakes.
we got to
Yeah.
be fair. Like we know about what happened with the story. We knows. I know how Invincible ends. But there's some 13-year-old kid that's like, whoa, they went to hell.
Exactly.
There's someone being captivated by this that isn't as tapped in as a bunch of 30-year-olds like us.
That's true. That's true.
It's
Yeah,
true.
and not everything is made for us, which is understandable.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
this episode. I think this. Listen, this show is geared more towards millennials. So
Listen,
don't get it
episode
twisted.
5 though, the way that
Episode
ended.
episode 5 is where people like us should be watching. I don't want my 10-year-old son or 13-year-old watching episode 5.
That shit was graphic.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Long story short, Nolan comes back to Earth at the end of episode 4 and says, Mark, we are going to war. We need you. I'm sorry.
He called his mom a pet.
And because he's on Earth, he wants to make amends with some people. Uh, l- Listen, one of which is Mark's mom, Debbie. This was an intense scene.
Yeah, it was.
And the voice actress, Sandra, I forget her last name.
Sandra Oh.
She Sandra Oh? Okay. Um, she did incredible here. Y'all can't tell me that American voice actors don't have talent because good goddamn. Yeah, I felt
She's
it.
also amazing in her own right. That's like a
As a regular
It's
actress,
all,
yeah, you know.
all of them. They got Mark Hamill in the voice acting cast. Like Invincible got some dub
yeah.
actors in there.
That's where the
Yeah,
budget.
that's why that is where the budget's going. That's why each episode is 2.5 million, allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of crushing to see Nolan like just get his shit reamed in verbally. But he deserves it. He like killed a whole bunch of people and lied to his friends and families for decades.
Partially physically too. Her hand is fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um Also, she tried to kill his son damn near. Like we forget that because it's a show, but it's like we saw you beat him to a bloody pulp and then just fly away and then get someone pregnant and then send the baby back and then still not talk to us for months. Like on top of the murder and massacre he committed in Chicago.
Yeah.
Double M.
Oh, yo.
It was but he deserves it. He did a lot of terrible things. And even though he's gonna probably save billions now because he's trying to fight off the Viltrumites from taking over the world, he killed hundreds, if not thousands of people. And that's fucked up.
Yeah. He's basically Vegeta.
Yes. Yeah. So he's gathering his troops. He tells Mark, okay, let's go. And of course, Oliver's like, I want to go. And you know, no one's like, no, you'll die, little nigga. Like, this is not for play. Like, these are Viltrumites. They will wipe you out. And he's very impassioned. He says, no, like, I saw my other mom die. I'm not going to my mom here die too. I'm going to go fight. All right. He regrets it. 5 minutes into the fight.
And little boy playing at war games.
And for those of you guys who do not, spoilers. For those of you guys who did not see the rampant memes about all this, the person that made him look like that was this guy.
Such a goated photo.
But they show him
Huh?
floating back out of space in like episode 3. So You know, if you
Yeah.
were over here about 4 and 5, then yeah, spoilers for sure.
Conquest is back in full effect. Because Cecil is a jackass who let him live, despite the fact he almost destroyed the planet. He flew back to Viltrum, told him, "Hey, that little nigga Mark got some people with him now. We might need to take care of all of them like now."
Master.
So Viltrumite said, "Okay, let's send a couple people down there." That's why all this is flowing into motion. Okay, Conquest ran and told Thrag, "Listen, we got some folks we got to take care of. They're going to send a whole sweeping army down there to destroy Earth." So Nolan and everyone else are trying to intercept that and go to war. A Viltrumite war, some might say.
That shit at the end was just wild, bro. Like this man got triggered because Conquest is talking that shit again. He's like, "Hey, your girlfriend not here no more. She the one who really beat me. I'm about to beat all
Mm.
y'all asses." I mean, yeah, kind of. But yeah, that
And that,
last that
No, no,
last thing at the end.
Mark was done.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
both of them are done.
Yeah,
Well, I
no,
kind of
Mark.
want to give credit where credit is due, though. Like, say what you want about Mark, yada, yada, yada. But when he said you're not going to take another breath, he was serious.
Yeah.
By
I
hell
also
or high
like the
water,
I
he was
also
going to
like
take
the
his
thing
life.
of I also like the thing about like the fact that the Viltrumites, like, they don't breathe in space. They just hold their breath.
Yeah.
So I saw something interesting that was like when he came down, the reason he choked him rather than beat him to death is so he could not regain his breath. He couldn't catch his
Yeah.
breath because he
Yeah.
had been holding his breath in space for who knows how long. So if
Very
you push
smart.
the air out his lungs, you
That's
can't
it.
do nothing. You're still
That's
like
it.
you still got lungs in your shit.
Shout
Yeah.
out to the Star Ring. My boy just floating up there looking down, like, haha, I saved the fucking world and I can breathe in space.
Twice. Saved the world
But
twice.
this episode was especially visceral to me because the animation and the time went into this episode a lot. Conquest is doing everything in his power to get Mark the fuck off of him. Like everything. Okay, he
Yeah.
tries to claw at his face. He goes in super speed and slams in a whole bunch of rocks, and Mark is not letting go. This is like really fight or flight type shit. And then, spoilers, I'm about to hit you guys with a crazy image. If you don't want to see,
Spoilers.
fast
Spoilers.
forward 20 seconds. Boom. Bro skewers him like
We
a
over here edging that.
barbecue.
Mm.
That's not even the thing that's graphic.
Bro,
I'm telling
I'm
you, bro,
probably going to put that in post edit
that end is
specifically.
still it's very is graphic. This nigga did I did it again, fam.
Oh, bro. But I just want to focus on this. This was
Take that off the screen.
crazy.
I
This was
wonder.
insane.
I
I was
wonder
watching
how.
this.
Sorry, finish.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna
Go.
say, like, I wonder how much of this is influenced by like the concepts that we see in anime and like, because like superhero material has never been like this, like, graphic, or at least mainline stuff. But I wonder how much is influenced by anime, because the concept of like the Viltrumites literally just remind. I know I keep saying it, but like it literally, the more I see it, it reminds me of the Saiyans. Like more and more and more, minus like the disease. I guess like you call Frieza disease or whatever. But I wonder how much Dragon Ball Z inspired the creator of this.
I would say probably none at all, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. Kirkman isn't a big anime guy.
I'm
He's
trying to
not a
think
big
of a
anime guy.
concept.
He doesn't like power scaling. All the things that you think of in regards to like anime, he's not really into.
But he does a lot of anime things, because even
Yeah,
like the power scaling of Invincible, of like you die or come close to death, you get a freaking Zenkai boost and you come back stronger. Like,
Maybe subconsciously, but he's literally said on many occasions he doesn't like literally said, "I don't like power scaling. I think it's bullshit."
that's interesting
But
to hear that that's his train of thought.
yeah,
yeah.
you'll see
And it
power scales
actually
Invincible.
he doesn't do it on purpose. And he actually, let me be a nerd for 10 seconds. I don't like the way he does power scale Invincible because the Zenkai boost thing should be lore, right? I don't think he's ever said that out loud specifically. So if he has, I just missed it.
I don't think so.
But the thing that was driving people to assume that there was like legitimate power scaling was the whole theory that adrenaline is the reason why Mark is so much
Human adrenaline.
faster at getting strong
Hmm.
than the average Viltrumite who lives for like 1,000 years and is comparable to his strength. Whereas like they in their physiology probably don't have an adrenaline system. Mark does because he's half human, which is like, oh, that's a great idea. Like he gets angry, he gets scared, he gets a power boost that proportionally to us would make us like a very strong man. Like he's a very strong Viltrumite for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like going super.
apparently, yeah, but apparently Robert Kirkman shut that idea down, which is like, okay, then a lot of these fights make no fucking sense.
Yeah, I hate when creators do this to their own series. It's like when the mangaka of Demon Slayer was like, "Oh no, that's not actually
Yeah,
real. It's all in their heads." Why would you say that? You don't have to.
yeah,
You could have just let me believe that.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to find the quote because I read it real quick. Maybe he expounded more on it, but from my understanding, like he's like, no, no. He doesn't really like all that stuff that makes anime, and that is fine. He is a
yeah,
comic book guy through and through. He's very much so. What he is influenced by is Image and just really cool indie stuff like fucking Bloodshot, like everything that they did during the Image boom with
yeah.
all those creators, and that's fine.
Does he know he's telling an anime story in a comic book medium?
Well, no, I mean, kind of, or he's just telling one long continuous story, which is what I was preaching about the other episode.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I just want to show this
I'm
final
talking about
shot though.
I'm talking like the thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Hit us with it.
Yeah, go ahead. Say what you're saying, because I'm gonna bring it up. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like I get that. I get his inspirations and things like that, but there's so many allusions to anime and the way that anime is set up within its own like system and world and like world building and stuff like that. And even like the level of graphic violence, you don't get that in a lot of comic books, right? You get that in some of them, but it's more like edgy comic books. But in like the Alan Moores and the things like that, that's where you see the deeper
Mm,
storytelling. But it's like you're trying to give us that and then say, oh no, it's not that. I'm just telling a fun little story. It's like you're not though. You're not.
I think this is a conversation we could definitely have another day. I'm gonna put the picture and post it. Let's get to the absolute Superman stuff. I really do want to get to that conversation you were just talking about, Phil. But
Which
yeah,
may
okay.
be confirmed actually inspired by anime. I feel like that was confirmed,
Oh,
right?
when you have a Latino artist, it's anime inspired. In 2026, I'm telling you right now,
Nah, that's
they
real.
love.
Dragon Ball Z and Say It alone, just them two alone, boy, they eat that shit the fuck up.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
dog. Absolute Superman was like, there were 3 moments in this book that I literally was like, this might be one of the best things I've ever read. This is so fucking cool.
I know that's not the Shazam thing.
It absolutely is.
It absolutely
Um,
boy.
all right. I was yapping a lot for Invincible. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No. All right, so in the beginning of the book, and I had a question I wanted to ask you about this too, which I'll get into. So in the
Mhm.
beginning of the book, we get the story of like Egyptian struggle, right? We get words like Kondak, and we get the Black Land and the Red Land and things like that, which is alluding directly towards Black Adam. That
Yes.
is there's no other thing it can be other than Black Adam. The kid's name is
Hmm.
10th Adam. He says, my father died of the plague. My mother died of starvation, and yet they still continue to pray to their gods. We were taken from our homeland. We were beaten to death. And basically, he's going through the struggles and trials of being a slave, but knowing he's meant for greater things, right? So he sets out, and this old dude is getting his shit kicked in. And 10th Adam goes over to support him. He's like, to the slavers, he's like, yo, why are you beating this dude? Like, he's no good to you if he's beaten to death. And the dude is like, oh, right, you're right. He's old. He's no good to us anyway. And they kill him because they're slave drivers. And they murder him in front of this child and then proceed to beat the shit out of 10th Adam. You know that meme that's like where the dude is joining the Crips at like the age of like 30?
Get back, Nick. Fight back, Nick.
Fight back,
Fight
fight
back.
back. It's that. Like
Yeah.
there is at one point you see in the panel, dude's whole leg is up, his knee is touching his chest. That is
Yeah,
a
he's getting
child.
thrashed. Yeah.
That is a child he's stepping on. And mind you, the other dude, full hand, cocked back, they beating the shit out of a child, right? So then later that night in the village, well, in like their little like resting area for the slaves, this mysterious woman comes into the village and she says two things that strike me as odd because she mentions the Phantom Stranger, right? Wait, what was it, Phantom Stranger, or was it what was it? What am I missing? Was it Phantom Stranger?
If I remember correctly, she talks about being like a voice for God or something like that. I forget.
Yeah, Voice for God, which is the that's not the
The
Phantom
Phantom
Stranger,
Stranger.
is it? Yeah, it is the Phantom Stranger.
Yeah.
So the Phantom Stranger is the voice for God. They're in Egypt right now. The concept of God does not exist at this period in time in this part of the world because they
Yes.
still worship multiple gods. They're
not a
still
singular one.
polytheistic. Yeah, they don't worship Yahweh. They worship Ra, Osiris, Horus, and shit. So the fact that the Phantom Stranger came there and was like, "Yeah, your gods are wrong," just to let you know that, and there is another God, and my God is right. And guess what? He's gonna bring vengeance and power to the land, which is crazy in itself. But that's also how it happened, and like the Moses of it all. Yeah, right. So this whole preaching thing happens, and she's like, "One of you will come to be a great hero and save everybody and do all the stuff." And 10th Adam is like, "Fuck this, I gotta get out of here." So
100%.
he's a child of destiny, or at least he feels like he's a child of destiny. And here's where it gets wicked, right? So he leaves. He crosses the black land into the red land, and he says they probably wouldn't be following me anymore for the simple fact of like, it's bad over here, so why would they follow me? They probably think I'm gonna die out here.
Niggas die out here, B.
Yeah, niggas get shot every day, B. So then he hears this voice come from the distance, and it is the Rock of Eternity. However, it's not quite the Rock of Eternity.
It is not the Rock of Eternity, my friend.
Hold
It
on.
is something way less friendly.
Sounds like some dark side shit.
Yeah. You think, Desmond, let me ask you a question. What colors are associated with that?
Is that purple dark side?
Yeah, nah, that purple. Think about it. We just saw this thing happen. It visited Lex.
It visited Lex Luthor.
Yeah, ultimate Lex Luthor.
Absolute. Let's say
absolute Lex Luthor.
Was it that? Was it the girl?
Nah.
It's spoilers. Brainiac.
Motherfucking Brainiac, dog. Brainiac. And the Rock is like, and they call it the Rock of Eternity. It's not really the Rock of Eternity. It's a spaceship. It's a spaceship. He's talking to aliens right now. He's talking to aliens, thinking he's talking to gods. Because that's what you would think if you were in that time and you didn't know that aliens were fucking real. You would think you're talking to a god. It's a floating face with glowing lights. You're like, this is insane. So he's talking to it and he's like, I'm the guy. Help me. Help you. I'm the guy. Bring me on board. And then they bring him on board to the ship. Yeah, and here's where it gets wickeder. They start experimenting on him. They start pulling him apart, taking things. And then they say a few interesting things here. They said the Devastator organs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically they're talking about giving him cybernetic enhancements. And this is not the first time that they've done this, apparently. So they're talking about giving him different things. They say, what do they say, Justin?
Long story short, they're going to like give him the cybernetic enhancements, and they're going to put a fucking mother box in him.
Yeah, but they say something very specific that I wanted to ask you about. Was it like the Demolisher something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to lie to you.
Yeah, I got you. It was something so small, but it was like almost like a throwaway line. But either way, right? So they found a mother box inside of a black hole, and they're like, yeah, we could put this inside the kid and see if it works. Why not? And then they put that inside of him, right? Kind of. And they say you have to say the magic word, which is...
I mean, we would assume Shazam.
We would assume Shazam. We don't know yet. They didn't say it.
No.
Did they? No. So we don't know what the actual magic word is. But we assume it's Shazam, but it probably won't be, in all honesty. However, so we get that story, and then we flash forward to a older Ra's al Ghul, right? And this is one of the compelling aspects about the story is
Yeah.
that we see the fallout of when Superman was reading to Raish as he was aging. It had an effect on him, right? Even as like an older man, we see Talia like take him to a Lazarus pit, and she's like, "Hey, this is the last Lazarus pit. I blew up all the other ones because the government's coming after us. We got to get Ra's al Ghul. We got to get the demon's head back so we can get back to our rightful place." And Ray's just like, "Good, you brought me to the last one. There's no more that exists," and he fucking smashes it.
He destroys it.
It's gone because he's like, as long as these things exist, evil will exist. I'm going to do my part to
Fire
change the
Force.
world in this regard because Superman read to me. And it was, when you think about the concept of Superman, that single, small, almost insignificant throwaway moment,
Yeah.
something that changed the head of someone who's been alive longer than any of us can comprehend, but
Yeah.
that changed him in a way that's profound enough for him to say, I don't want to live forever anymore. I have to correct the wrongs that I've done while I still have time to do it. I don't even want to make myself young to fix the things. I just want to die an old man in peace, and I want you to forgive yourself, Talia. Now, on the back end, do you want to say what happens on the back end, Justin?
Yeah, man. So Clark has been talking to Lois, and Lois is on a revenge mission because you killed my daddy. They finally find each other. Lois finds Talia. Talia is a cold bitch. She's like, "Oh yeah, I guess I did kill him. Who cares? He didn't matter." They're sword and gun drawn. Superman pops up, and I want you to remember this specific panel because it's him. First off, beautiful art by Rafa Sandoval. He comes like he's coming from the top to descend down into the normies, the humans. Remember this panel because there's a great juxtaposition afterwards.
Mm.
Everything stops when Superman comes in the room, right? They're about to go fight, and he says, I can stop you guys all right now. Talia, sit down. And she's like, I guess you could stop me, but I'm like kind of that girl. So I have a whole bunch of peacemakers ready to kill everybody, and you're going to have to stop them. And before Clark can even do anything about it, we get the appearance of Absolute Steel.
Yeah, just why?
Which was listen, by the way, I was like, oh shit, like this has been a perfect example of how to ramp up an issue, right? Because after we got to the midway point, everything just started going crazier and crazier, but in the best way possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Absolute Steel pops up with his crazy weird hammer that stops bullets midair and beats the dog shit out of all of
Also,
the peacemakers.
he made the peacemaker suits.
Yes, he said that he made the peacemaker. Good catch. Yes, he said he made them, and that's how he knows how to destroy him so well. Great catch, bro. Anyway, that gets into going back to where Raish and everyone else is having the standoff, and Steel is trying to get it back in blood because Homeboy finds Raish and he knocks the shit out of him. Which is like, ooh, you're gonna kill Raish like right now? Like I was kind of feeling sympathetic for him. Gets a hammer in his back. Why is this not showing? Wow. After all that, Rachel's like, yo, we need to stop this like right now. Clark is on the ground because whatever she did with the mother box or whatever, it's messing up his frequency. And he's hearing too much, experiencing too much. He's bleeding out of his eyes. Spoilers. Or a nice little recall. Rachel's like, listen, it's not just about stopping what they've got going on here. Okay? It's not about just stopping Clark or Kal-El. Why does it keep showing this? It's about what we held here. Okay? You know what we have here, and we can't keep doing this. And Talia's being a bitch, totally ignoring him. Blase blah. The reveal. The thing they were holding down here was none other than Black Adam.
Oh, God. What'd Jabber say?
He said a lot.
He said,
I can only get so erect.
I can only get so erect.
Not me.
Bro, first off, shout out Rafa Sandoval. The image I showed you where Clark was coming down to touch ground and he's coming up like from the pits of hell. Beautiful juxtaposition,
Yeah, it's honestly crazy.
bro. I seen the cover, and we're comic book fans, so we're kind of jaded. Like, sure, Cat the Dem's gonna pop up this actual issue. Oh, he actually does. Oh shit,
And in a big way. And even
and
like the reveal of the Brainiacs,
that was crazy.
crazy.
I'm still tripping over the reveal of Steel. Who's under that mask? Like,
Yeah,
you have a crazy weapon.
so much happened. So
Yeah, so
much
much happened.
happened in
This
such a
was a
short amount of time.
crazy, such a short amount of time. This was a one issue. I thought this issue was damn near perfect.
Yeah, same. I would give this a 10 out of 10, honestly. The
Yeah,
that page spread of Superman and then the juxtaposition with the Black Adam of it all, like that made me literally be like, I got chills. I was like, this is phenomenal.
yeah,
Like this is what I want from comic books.
yes. Uh
Yeah. Yeah. And even like the reveal of the Brainiacs and the reveal of it like not being like magic. It's literally
yeah,
just aliens fucking around on Earth for no reason other than the fact that they can. And I feel like that's going to tie back into Brainiac. And it's also
yeah,
going to find out the whole thing with the Phantom Stranger, because the Phantom Stranger, for those who don't know, is the right hand of God, right?
yes.
So when you get
And let's
possessed
not
by the.
forget, I got I'm sorry, I gotta cut you off. We
Yeah,
gotta
no,
remember the fact that she talked about she was there since we were began from Omega Energy, which is like, we've been talking about Omega stuff a lot lately in the Absolute books. It feels like they mention it frequently. Like,
yeah.
they're building up to something like very soon.
Infinite Crisis. Infinite Absolute Crisis.
The Absolute Crisis. Anyway, we could glaze this book all day. I love this issue. Shout out to Jason Aaron. Shout out to Sandoval. Um, Fucking keep doing what you're doing.
Good. I love it.
All right. Real quick, listen, Daredevil, issue number 1 came out. I know I'm the only one who read it. It was cool. It was cool. It
Yeah.
was cool. I liked it. Um, it's just
Man,
setting
that's
up
a good cover.
Daredevil.
I like
It's
that.
a great cover. It's a great cover. Um, Shout out to Garbe. Stephanie Phillips is the one who wrote it. She does a great job just reintroducing Daredevil. He is a teacher now. He's teaching law, specializing in contracts. There is some weird shadowy figure who is running around and knows him very well. So much so that when Daredevil fights him, he kind of knows all his moves before Daredevil can pull them off. And Daredevil's like, that's not normal. And he uses all his moves against him so well that at the end of the issue, this seemingly regular dude has Daredevil with his dick in the air.
Dick in the air is
Damn.
hilarious.
Damn.
There's not too much to talk about this issue. It's actually a quintessential, like, perfect starter issue. I'm in for the first arc at least. Stephanie Phillips, you're doing good work. I love what you did on Grimm, so I'm gonna follow your journey here. This is also apparently the highest selling Daredevil issue of all time.
This is show. It's because of the show.
And
Yeah.
partially because of the blind bags. The blind bags were a big thing for this. Like, people were getting blind bags out the wazoo with special covers.
Blind bags for Daredevil.
I know, right? The jokes write
Uh,
themselves.
Ah.
that's
Last thing we're going to talk about Daredevil related is the actual show.
Yeah.
Episode
I
2
just
and 3.
want to. Yeah, it is 2 and 3, but number 3, how I
Number 3
said
is great.
Invincible ended. Oh yeah, there was a nuking of a field.
Bro,
They said, "Oh, you know what to do." Pay that
bro, so long
1,000
story.
life points.
Daredevil's going on his crusade, y'all. Daredevil, by the way, love this black and red suit in real life. I always thought it was stupid in the comics. I always thought, like, you should be in all red. Live action actually looks great. So shout out to
Yeah.
y'all for pulling it off.
The demon in
Um,
Hell's Kitchen.
Daredevil's running around putting a thorn in Fisk's side, and he actually gets into the facility where he's holding a whole bunch of people. He frees a whole bunch of the people, and then because of all that, it's the perfect opportunity for Wilson Fisk to literally, Desmond, what do you usually say?
Nuke the field.
He blows up a whole ship, a cargo ship with tens, if not hundreds of people on there to cover up his own crimes. Holy shit. We're committing not just murder, but massacres right now. How did y'all feel about these episodes?
Getting close to that favorite side.
I feel like this series is doing a really good job of depicting like the ferocity of the street level heroes. I think oftentimes with superheroes, we get lost in the grandiose nature of like a Superman or of like a somebody from Marvel. Who's somebody from Marvel that's like really big. Like we get lost in the bigger scope of superheroes saving the universe, but sometimes local crime still happens. Sometimes you got to fight a politician, sometimes you got to put hands on a politician. But even in that regard, I feel like this series is doing a lot of great things.
This is incredible. How about you, Digga?
I loved when they showcase him going through trying to find the area where all the people are, because the only reason why he got this information is because the lawyer chick who's with them, black girl, they had to blindfold her to get to, Zorro nigga. I forgot his actual like vigilante name, but
Swordsman,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Nah. His name is Zoro, nigga. Moving forward. What do you
So
mean?
that's what she's explaining it to Daredevil, and he's,
Some niggas.
just retracing her steps quite literally. That was when I was like, okay, cool. Like this show is depicting all the things that like made Daredevil cool. Because we were talking before we started recording, like I see why I liked him from the movie, but I just this is a way better depiction, obviously, than that movie.
Yeah. Black suit is dope though. You're right.
Black
Like
suit is
I'm a
fire.
fan. Costume department.
And Karen out here is crashing out low key.
Yeah, bro. She was ready to blam at the end of the episode. Bro, they are literally fugitives of the state, though. Like, Wilson Fisk is trying to catch them so we can either kill them or, like, slowly torture them in a jail cell. They're playing for keeps right now.
Yeah,
And
you
I
said
did
they
want to
about
get
go
your
to a black site.
how'd you
Yes.
feel about Cole North still being alive? Because that nigga, I
M-
thought he was deaded.
Me too. And I hate the fact that he's a bitch ass nigga in this. I hate the fact because the Daredevil run this is based off in Chip Zdarsky's run. He is kind of on the edge of a cop, but he really is a force for good. And him and Daredevil form like a kind of relationship, respecting the fact that they're trying to do good for their neighborhood. He's just like a straight up evil agent in this. Like there was like no depth or dimension. He's a bitch ass nigga who commits the law, who commits fraud and breaks the law, but under the guise of working for a good person who's actually just a corrupt politician. He's a bitch ass nigga. I don't like anything about him.
I'm glad I asked you.
In the comics, though, he's awesome. He's like a 6'5", built like a brick shit house dude that is tired of Daredevil shit because Daredevil this period of time is like getting over a drug addiction and he has all this Catholic guilt because he accidentally killed somebody, blah, blah, blah. It's the truth. And he beats the shit out of him in public and he just shows he's a boss. So it sucks that they used this version, they made a version of that character into this. But the show is great.
For sure.
He's a bitch ass nigga.
Even show BB being the Mr. Robot of it. Person that makes the video for the Fisk. Well, that wasn't really like too much of a reveal. We kind of already knew that.
I thought it was her off top.
I did, yeah. It was either her or a Bullseye, but it wouldn't have made sense if it was Bullseye.
Yeah, things are getting sticky though, because like she playing with fire. We've seen that like Wilson Fisk is getting more emboldened. He literally just killed dozens, if not hundreds, of people to kind of prove or shy away from the fact that he was holding people in a black site. Now we can blame Daredevil for exploding the ship because he vandalized the ship before. And now that they can't find those people because he expects to not find them anymore, he killed all the people that were in that black site, allegedly.
What? You said a government committed an act of terror against his people to hide a crime they committed? That's crazy. That would never happen in real life. They would never commit a false flag attack on their own soil. It's crazy.
Thank God we don't have to deal with billionaire oligarchs in America.
Don't forget the demon.
God. The demon.
Don't forget the demons. Oh, it might pop up this season too.
Oh, we got to talk about that.
Well, listen, I guess we all liked episode 2 and 3, right?
For sure.
Nah,
Yeah, so far.
Even the podcasters have been great.
Yeah, I haven't been watching them. I need to.
It's a nice little insight. I mean, it's a lot more because they showed like lawyer guy who's like under Fisk, and he was interviewing Karen, and they were just talking about their actual character dynamics and the good and bad yin and yang of it, and it's not just all black and white. So it's really cool insight.
Guys, long story short, go read Daredevil issue 1 and go watch Daredevil Born Again season 2. This is better than season 1. Sorry, gotta say it.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
All right, we've hit the point where we get to talk about recommendations. Hit me, fellas.
Recommendations. So my recommendation, I'm torn between, and I know Desmond's going to be fired for us. Now Justice is going to be absolute Superman. Honestly, so I'm going to split the difference. Mind you, both of those things I wanted to recommend, but I know my compatriots are going to mention those. So I'm going to say the Fate series, Fate Stay Night. Go watch the OG series. Go watch the first one. And when you find out that Saber is the realest OG of the OGs, like it, and Gilgamesh. Let's not forget Gilgamesh.
That's the OG one. Night is the OG one.
Yeah,
Fate Stay Night.
Yeah,
the anime. Watch the anime.
Yeah, Fate Stay Night and Fate Stay Zero. Gilgamesh puts belt to ass in every fight. There is no fight where he does not put belt to ass. Belt to ass happens every fight. Gilgamesh is the guy, but go watch the original series. It's much better than what we just got.
Say less. I'm gonna actually tap in. We already know mines, man. This is literally my journey. Like, I'm really gonna go into the Fire Academy and like real life this shit. Like, I don't know. They showed Arthur's son. Shinra's apparently did smash up Inca. Don't. Hey. 25 years, a lot happens. But nah, yeah, Fire Force Soul Eater. Watch them, read them, whatever, consume them. Goated 1 and 2.
Well, this nigga clocked me a mile away.
See, I knew it.
People that were sleeping on this, you guys are on cocaine. This fucking book is amazing.
Y'all real
Why
quiet.
would you sleep on that book? What
Y'all real quiet.
Absolute Superman is so good. I've loved it since issue 1. I'm loving it even more now. It's more than found its voice. It's basically just Superman in the Absolute Universe. Yes.
Literally, that's what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny too? They're probably a level of this is probably trolling The Rock.
Also, G, I didn't want to get into it too much, but a little bit, right?
Yo, it's gotta be.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
Gotta be. It's because not only did they set up Absolute Superman the way they set up Absolute Black Adam, the way they set up Absolute Superman, it like the panels, they're damn near 1-for-1 of the page spread and then like the power system. They gotta be trolling The Rock. And I bet you he kind of looks like The Rock, but with a beard and with hair.
I can't wait to see. And their suits like mirror each other. That would Rafa Sandoval coming back for this. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
I love petty shit. I love it. I'm here for it.
Oh man. And shit, man. Next week we get One Piece. Yeah, here we are.
It's gonna be a hefty week. It's gonna be a hefty week.
Hey, the thing I will say is if you want to hear us talk about what just happened in One Piece, because we want to talk, we might talk about it at some point because we have to.
In the One Piece manga.
Drop a comment below. Say something. Request it because there's a lot to get into. A lot to say.
In this recent week of One Piece manga chapters, a lot of people. I wonder how you guys feel about the Naruto ending right now. All right, guys, that was another grand episode of Dots and Lines. Please like, share, subscribe, read a comic, be nice to each other. Goodbye.